At 30, I, Jennifer, am living what most would call a dream life. As CEO of Stellar Motors, my family's luxury car company, I've turned more than a few heads in the industry. Being a woman here, it's like trying to parallel park a Hummer in downtown Manhattan during rush hour, challenging but incredibly satisfying when you nail it. Jennifer, the new prototype is ready for your inspection, my assistant chirps as I stride into the office. I nod, excitement bubbling up. This model could revolutionize the electric car market. Running my hand over the sleek curves of the vehicle, I can't help but smile. This is what I live for. Later that evening, at a charity gala, I'm mingling with the city's elite when I spot him, John, a real estate mogul known for his bold moves in the development world. Our eyes meet, and for the first time in years, I feel a spark. I hear you're quite the car enthusiast, he says with a grin, approaching me. I raise an eyebrow, and I hear you're quite the property tycoon. Shall we compare notes? As we chat, I can't help but notice how different John is from my cousin Damien. I spot Damien across the room, already a few drinks in and wobbling as he makes his way toward me. Jennifer, he slurs, why don't you ever return my calls? I sigh, embarrassed. Damien, we've talked about this. You're my cousin, and I care about you. But nothing, he cuts in. We'd be perfect together. I love you. John looks bemused as I steer Damien away, apologizing profusely. Family, I mutter with a grimace. Can't live with them, can't sell them for parts. As the weeks go by, John and I grow closer. He's ambitious, kind, and actually listens when I talk about work. It's refreshing, especially compared to Damien's constant neediness. One evening over dinner, John gets down on one knee. Jennifer, he says, you're the most incredible woman I've ever met. Will you marry me? My heart soars. Yes, I exclaim, tears of joy in my eyes. We decide to announce our engagement at the next family gathering. As I look around at my parents' beaming faces, my aunt and uncle's polite smiles, and Damien's barely concealed scowl, I feel a twinge of unease. Little did I know, this was just the calm before the storm. A toast, my father says, raising his glass, to Jennifer and John. As everyone cheers, I catch Damien's eye. The look he gives me sends a chill down my spine. Something tells me this engagement won't be smooth sailing. But I've navigated tougher roads before. Bring it on, I think. Little did I know just how bumpy this ride was about to get. As John and I dive into wedding planning, it feels like a dream. We spend hours discussing our future, from the color scheme of our big day to our plans for merging our empires. I'm thinking we could expand Stellar Motors into sustainable housing. I muse one evening, curled up on the couch with John. He grins, eyes lighting up. That's brilliant, Jennifer. We could create entire eco-friendly communities. But not everyone is thrilled about our engagement. Damien's jealousy grows with each passing day, his attempts to win my affection becoming increasingly desperate. One afternoon, as I'm leaving the office, I find him waiting by my car. Jennifer, please, he begs, eyes bloodshot. You can't marry him. We belong together. I sigh, frustration bubbling up. Damien, we've been through this. You're my cousin, and I don't have those feelings for you. Please, for both our sakes, let this go. But he doesn't back down. He starts showing up at my workplace, bombarding me with messages, even trying to crash a dinner date with John. Family tension finally boils over at Sunday dinner. Uncle Marcus glares at me across the table, his voice dripping with disdain. So, Jennifer, I hear you've been quite cruel to my Damien. Is that how you treat family? I nearly choke on my wine. Excuse me, I've been nothing but patient with Damien. It's not my fault he can't accept that I'm engaged to someone else. Aunt Vivian tries to diffuse the tension. Now, let's not ruin dinner with this talk. But Uncle Marcus isn't finished. You've always thought you were too good for this family, haven't you? With your fancy cars and rich fiancé. I stand, my chair scraping against the floor. I've worked hard for everything I have. Maybe if Damien did the same, he wouldn't be so fixated on me. As I storm out, I can hear Damien's sobs echoing behind me. Guilt gnaws at me, but I can't keep enabling his behavior. Things take a darker turn when John calls me late one night, his voice shaking. Jennifer, I just got a threatening message from a blocked number. They said if I don't leave you, I'll regret it. My blood runs cold. It has to be Damien. This has gone too far. We agreed to beef up security. But I was determined not to let Damien's antics ruin our happiness. John and I threw ourselves into wedding preparations with even more gusto, as if to prove that nothing could come between us. One evening, while sampling wedding cakes, John took my hand. "Jennifer, I want you to know that no matter what happens with your family, I'm here for you. We're in this together." I squeezed his hand, feeling tears prick my eyes. "I know, I just wish things were different. I never wanted to cause this much drama." He chuckled, wiping a stray tear from my cheek. "Hey, if we can handle this, we can handle anything life throws at us, right?" I nodded, feeling a renewed sense of determination. We were stronger together, and no amount of family drama could change that. As the wedding rehearsal approached, I tried to push aside my worries and focus on the joy of marrying the man I loved. Little did I know, the real storm was yet to come. The night before the rehearsal, I stood on the balcony of our penthouse, looking out over the city lights. John wrapped his arms around me from behind. "Penny for your thoughts," he murmured. I leaned back into him, sighing. "Just hoping tomorrow goes smoothly. I can't shake this feeling that something's going to go wrong." He kissed the top of my head. "Whatever happens, we'll face it together. I promise." Little did we know that promise would be put to the test sooner than we could have ever imagined. The day of the rehearsal arrived, and I woke up with a mix of excitement and dread. As I walked into the venue, tension hung thick in the air. "Jennifer, darling, you look beautiful," my mother said, hugging me tightly. "Thanks, Mom," I replied, forcing a smile. "Is everyone here?" She hesitated. "Yes, including Damien and your Uncle Marcus. Well, you'll see." Making my way through the crowd, I spotted Damien in a corner, nursing a drink and glaring daggers at John. Nearby, Uncle Marcus was whispering furiously to Aunt Vivian, his face red with anger. "All right, everyone," the wedding planner called out. "Let's get this rehearsal started." We began going through the motions, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to go terribly wrong. Halfway through, Uncle Marcus suddenly stood up, swaying slightly. "I can't take this farce anymore," he bellowed, pointing at me. "You think you can just waltz down the aisle like you're some kind of saint?" The room fell silent as John tensed beside me. "Uncle Marcus, what are you talking about?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He stumbled toward me, his eyes wild. "Don't play innocent with me. I know what you did. You've been blackmailing Vivian, hadn't you? And the way you've treated my son, it's disgusting." I was stunned. "Blackmail? Insulting Damien? Uncle Marcus, you're not making any sense." "Oh, aren't I?" he sneered. "You've always thought you were better than us. Well, I won't stand for it anymore." Before I could react, Uncle Marcus lunged forward and shoved me hard. I stumbled backward, nearly falling. "Hey," John shouted, stepping between us. "Don't you dare touch her." Chaos erupted. My father rushed to restrain Uncle Marcus, while Damien started yelling incoherently. Aunt Vivian burst into tears, and guests began murmuring in shock. "That's enough," my mother's voice cut through the noise. "Marcus, you need to leave. Now." A security escorted Uncle Marcus out with Aunt Vivian and a sulking Damien trailing behind. I stood there, trembling with anger and confusion. "Are you okay?" John asked, his arm protectively around me. I nodded, still in shock. I don't understand. Where is all this coming from?" My father approached, looking grim. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I had no idea Marcus would do something like this." "Should we call off the wedding?" John asked quietly. I looked around at the disrupted rehearsal, at the concerned faces of our friends and family, then straightened my shoulders and shook my head. "No," I said firmly. "We're not letting them ruin this. Our wedding is going to happen, and it's going to be perfect." John squeezed my hand. "Are you sure?" I nodded, a new determination filling me. "Absolutely. Uncle Marcus, Damien, they don't get to dictate our happiness. We've worked too hard for this." As we calmed the guests and tried to salvage the rest of the rehearsal, I couldn't help but wonder what had driven Uncle Marcus to such extremes. The accusations of blackmail, the insults, where had all that come from? Later that night, as John and I sat in our living room trying to process the day's events, my phone buzzed with a message from Damien. "This isn't over. You'll regret choosing him over me." I showed it to John, my hands trembling slightly. "Should we be worried?" he asked, brow furrowed. I deleted the message and tossed my phone aside. "No, we're not giving them the satisfaction. Whatever game they're playing, we're not participating." Yet, as I lay in bed that night, unable to sleep, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Uncle Marcus's outburst, Damien's threat, something bigger was brewing. But I was Jennifer, CEO of Stellar Motors, soon to be wife of John. I faced down corporate sharks and industry skeptics. I could handle a little family drama, or so I thought. Little did I know the true test was yet to come. The day I dreamed of finally arrived. The venue was a fairy tale come to life, and as I walked down the aisle toward John, I felt like the luckiest woman alive. "You look stunning," John whispered as I reached him. The ceremony began, and for a brief, beautiful moment, everything was perfect. Then, just as we were about to say our vows, the doors burst open. "Stop the wedding." Damien stumbled in, clearly drunk. My heart sank. "Damien, please don't do this," I pleaded. "Jennifer, I love you," he slurred. "You can't marry him. Choose me." But Damien wasn't done. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a gun. Screams erupted as guests scrambled for cover. John pushed me behind him protectively. "Damien, put the gun down," John said calmly, but Damien was beyond reason. "If I can't have her, no one can." The gun went off. John cried out, clutching his arm as blood seeped through his white shirt. Security tackled Damien as chaos ensued, and paramedics rushed to John's side while I stood there, frozen in shock. As Damien was led away in handcuffs, Uncle Marcus and Aunt Vivian approached, faces pale. "Jennifer, please," Aunt Vivian begged. "Don't press charges. He needs help, not jail." I looked at them incredulously. "He shot my husband on our wedding day. This ends now." Later, at the hospital, John took my hand. "I'm okay," he assured me. "What matters is we're together." I nodded, a new resolve settling over me. "We are, and we're going to get through this. All of it." As we sat there, surrounded by the wreckage of our perfect day, I knew one thing for certain. Our love was stronger than any bullet, and we faced whatever came next together. And that's where Jennifer and John's tumultuous journey leaves us with a question. If you were in Jennifer's position, would you press charges against Damien? Or would you give him another chance for the sake of family peace? What do you think is more important? Justice for a dangerous act or preserving family relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could spark an interesting discussion on family loyalty, personal boundaries, and the consequences of our actions.